But what he didn't know was that even with the recipe, he couldn't replicate the Vitality Soup, because one of the key ingredients can only be obtained as a drop from killing monsters. After solving the problem, you hurriedly resumed your path of leveling up, because Liu Ruyan's time was really running out. As your level gradually increased, you found that the EXP required for each level grew exponentially, so your leveling speed got slower and slower. After farming at the hospital for several days, you only reached level 15. You also learned from these days of combat that an elite monster's stats are double those of a normal monster of the same level, but boss monster stats were still an unknown to you. Today, you came to Renai Hospital to farm as usual, when suddenly a special disease monster caught your eye. Migraine monster, boss tier disease monster. Battle was available. After obtaining the other party's consent, you inserted silver needles into 3 of the man's acupuncture points. Afterward, you successfully entered the battle. Migraine monster, level 10 boss tier, HP 5000. As expected of a boss, you have to know, a normal monster of the same level has 1000 HP at most. The boss monster has 5 times that. The opponent launched an attack at you first. With a loud bang, a 50 appeared above your head. Impressive. Even with the diamond indestructibility talent, you still lost 50 HP. If it were a normal monster, it could only deal single-digit damage to you at most. Next, it was your turn to attack. With another loud bang, 200 damage, not bad. This monster was mainly a mage type, rather than a tank, so its defense was relatively weak. After 20-some rounds, you claimed victory in the battle. HP recovery increased by 10 points per second. In addition, your golden needle skill leveled up, gaining a new effect. Life Hang. It can preserve a patient's last breath, forcibly extending their life for 1 day. Can only be used once per person. For the next few days, you continued farming monsters non-stop. However, you felt your leveling speed was still too slow. After grinding for half a month, you only reached level 18. Knowing you'd face a level 20 boss, you needed at least level 25 to be confident. It would take forever at this rate, but just then, special monster entered your field of vision. Lucky monster, a special mob that grants rewards upon entering battle. The next second, you entered the battle without hesitation. Opposite you was a flashy, pink, stinky pig. Beside it was a shimmering golden treasure chest. The round started and you struck first. With 1 slash, you actually shattered the opponent into pieces. Congratulations, host, on obtaining gold-grade equipment. Golden coiling dragon armor. Congratulations, host, on gaining 50,000 EXP. Level increased to level 20. Holy crap, this lucky monster's no joke. Finally, you hurriedly checked the golden coiling dragon armor. Once equipped, it grants 1,000 defense, 2,000 horsepower, and 200 block. It comes with the skill, Vajra, which increases your own defense by 50%. Time to fight the army centurion, so you rushed back to Jingxiu Mansion. Back home, you first gave Liu Ruyan acupuncture to lower the monster's combat power, then entered the battle. Facing you was an even more ferocious white tiger, the breast cancer army centurion, a level 20 boss. It had 20,000 horsepower and launched the first attack. Its massive claws landed on you, dealing 110 damage, but because of your high recovery and core equipment, you only actually lost 45 HP. Next, it was your turn to attack. With a bang, the opponent lost 2,000 HP. 2 hours later, relying on the golden coiling dragon armor's high block and recovery, you narrowly secured the victory. Immediately after, a new disease monster appeared beside Liu Ruyan, breast cancer army Chiliarch, a level 30 boss. Victory would extend her life by 3 years. You knew it wouldn't be that simple, but at least now you could breathe a sigh of relief. For most of the time following that, you stayed by her side, only going out occasionally to farm monsters and level up. One day you went to the hospital as usual. With 1 glance, you spotted a special monster in the crowd. Blessing monster, a special disease-type monster. Available for battle. You entered without hesitation. The blessing monster before you was a golden divine dragon. Like the lucky monster before, it shattered with a single hit. Congratulations, host, on obtaining the treasure Dragon Pearl. Dragon Pearl effect. Permanently doubles all current stats. Added skill. Beast Taming. Tames a target with 100% loyalty and increases pet stats by 3 times. During your previous leveling grind, and you discovered that some domestic pets had a tameable panel appear next to them. But at the time, you didn't understand what that meant. Now it seems you can actually tame pets to fight alongside you, and with the beast taming skill, the loyalty is 100%. Haha, what a lucky break. After finishing today's leveling, you plan to drive home. But halfway there, Zhou Xiaoxiao called you. Zhou Xiaoxiao is Zhou Zheng's younger sister and was also your high school's school flower. Since you saved her father, she still remembers you vividly even today. Hello, is this Brother Fan? Yeah, what's up, Xiaoxiao? It's like this. I opened a beauty club locally. A big influencer with 1 million followers got a face full of acne after a treatment here. Now she's demanding a sky-high compensation or she'll expose us online. But I know for a fact that there's absolutely no way my products have issues. My brother said your medical skills are brilliant, so I was wondering if you could come help me out. You agreed without any hesitation. Upon arriving at the scene, you immediately spotted a conspicuous disease monster on that female influencer. Plastic surgery monster. Special disease monster. Level 5, non-combatant. Clearly, she spent a lot on her body, yet her online persona is all natural. Zero tech, born with it face. Next, you took some of the beauty products from Zhou Xiaoxiao's shop and applied them to your own skin. If the product was harmful, the system would pop up a damage notification. But after a long while, no notification appeared, meaning the product was definitely safe. Then the problem must lie with the influencer, Coco. Taking a closer look, she indeed had several other disease monsters on her. Constipation monster, level 10, boss, combat available. Hemorrhoid monster, level 10, boss, combat available. You instantly understood the root cause of her acne. It was these two boss-tier disease monsters causing toxins to build up in her body. Meanwhile, Coco was still threatening to expose them online while demanding the massive payout. You're truly shameless. The next second, you directly pointed out that her breasts were fake and her nose had implants. Coco was instantly stunned on the spot. You have to know, she just went to Korea for surgery recently. Even her manager didn't know about this. Seeing that you actually had skills, she had to soften her stance. I can drop the legal pursuit, but you guys must cure the acne on my face. You explained to Coco. The root cause of your acne is chronic constipation, but regardless of the cause, I can cure it for you. Coco was even more shocked. Holy crap! These secrets aren't even known by my personal assistant. How does he know? I promise, if you can root out these illnesses, I won't just drop the matter. I'll even do a free endorsement for the beauty shop. So, to help Zhou Xiaoxiao solve the trouble, you agreed. Then, you took out silver needles and inserted them into her face, taking the chance to initiate the battle. Inside the consciousness space, a lion-like constipation monster charged at you. With a ding, there was nothing it could do. With the buff from the Dragon Pearl treasure, your defense had already reached 7,000. These low-level boss monsters couldn't possibly be your match. The result was never in doubt. You claimed victory in just one round. At the same time, in the real world, Coco felt an overwhelming urge to go. She immediately clutched her butt and sprinted toward the restroom. 10 minutes later, Coco walked out feeling completely refreshed. I didn't expect a young kid like you to be so skilled. Then she looked at Zhou Xiaoxiao and said, "Don't worry, I'll definitely keep my promise." After resolving the matter perfectly, you went home, but something unexpected happened. At this moment, Zhou Xiaoxiao had already developed special feelings for you. Once home, you began planning like Chen Hao to open a hot pot restaurant. The reason was simple. You needed a way to use up the massive amount of meat dropped from monsters. Later, you and Chen Hao partnered up to open a hot pot place called Chuan Wei Xuan. He handled the operations while you provided the ingredients. In your free time, you'd head to the hospital to farm monsters and level up. Until one day, Zhou Zheng invited you to a class reunion. As soon as you arrived, everyone started sucking up to Zhou Zheng because his father, the chief, had just become a top candidate for the secretary of the Political and Legal Affairs Committee. Only one person at the scene took the initiative to greet you. This person was your class beauty, Ayn Rand. She was also one of your few true friends back in school. But in the next second, you froze, because on her body you saw a despair-inducing disease monster. ALS Army Vanguard, level 10 boss, combat available. You knew exactly what ALS meant. Getting this disease is basically like getting a death warrant in advance. Without a shred of hesitation, you decisively started the battle. A level 10 boss monster is nothing but fodder for you now. Congratulations, host. Victory achieved. Obtained skill, kidney deficiency punch. Type, active. During combat, reduces target's attack and defense by 20% for 10 rounds. When you looked at Ayn Rand again, as expected, a new disease monster appeared. ALS Army Centurion, level 20. Boss, combat available after acupuncture. You had planned to ninja farm some EXP, but now there was a prerequisite for the battle. Helpless, you had to stop for now. You looked at Ayn Rand and gave her a subtle warning. Remember to go to the hospital for a checkup when you have time. But in the next second, everyone present lost their cool. Inside the private room, 3 masked thugs with knives suddenly burst in. "Nobody fucking move! Move and I'll gut you, got it?" The female classmates began screaming in terror. But your rival, Sun Wei, actually tried to play the hero to save the beauty. The result? He was dropped by the masked man in a single slash. He lay on the ground with blood gushing out uncontrollably. At that moment, you discovered that all 3 thugs had a small red figure on them. Murder Monster, level 2. Special Monster, non-combatant. Murder Monster, level 1. Special Monster, non-combatant. Can't believe I can see this too. The 3 men then hurriedly pulled out Zhou Zheng's photo and started searching the crowd. It turns out they were the fugitives from the 4.18 serial murder case. When Zhou Changshan was chief, he had shot and killed one of them. They were here for revenge. One of the thugs saw that Ayn Rand was still quite charming and couldn't help but walk toward her with a wicked grin. The leader saw this and didn't stop him. Since it would only take a minute, it wouldn't matter. But in the next second, that man suddenly collapsed like a wet noodle. Before the other 2 could react, their legs gave out as well. That's right. You had used kidney deficiency punch on the thugs from a distance, causing their kidneys to fail instantly and making them collapse in a heap. The classmates never expected you to have such impressive skills and started seeing you in a whole new light. Only classmate Sun Wei was left on the ground, bleeding and wailing. Now you just had to call the cops and wait. At that moment, someone in the crowd suggested letting Zhou Zheng call his father, the chief, first. Letting him bring people to capture these 3 fugitives would basically secure his position as the secretary of the Political and Legal Affairs Committee. Then all the classmates present would also get to bask in the glory. So everyone quickly got their stories straight. By the time you got back to Chuan Wei Xuan, it was already very late. Your shop's business had been insanely good lately because your ingredients had a flavor no other place could match. Suddenly, a stranger walked up to you. He introduced himself as Zhou Xiaoxiao's brother-in-law, Zhao Kai. But looking closely, you discovered he had a premature ejaculation monster, impotence monster, kidney deficiency monster, and several others. One look, and you could tell his body had been hollowed out by booze and women.